labor, so what happened?
Okay, so I got up to go pee, and I was like halfway down the hall, and then something came out, like shit started coming out, and I was like, oh my god, like my water broke, and I was freaking out. You know, it's so weird because it was like 2 in the morning, and my mom happened to be up on her laptop. I think she was like studying or something, and she was in the living room like on her laptop. I was like, Mom, and she was like, yeah. And I was like, I think my water broke, and she's like, oh my god. And then all the lights turned on. She got my stepdad. They're like, so I called Rigo, and I was like, my water broke, and he's like, on my way. So he went. We took off, we went to Kaiser, and then they checked me, and they're like, oh, like you're barely, I think it was 0.5 centimeter or 1 centimeter. They're like, it's just your mucus plug, like you can go back home, we can't take you into your 2 centimeters. So I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, you know, stuff's coming out of me. They're like, no, like you have to go back home. So I was like, oh my god. So we went back home, and then we fell asleep on the couch. And then I remember 8 a.m. my brother walked in the door. He walked in the front door at 8 o'clock in the morning. Once he walked in, my water broke all over the couch. Like, and then, so we went, and they're like, okay, like you're 2 centimeters now. And I remember I was like, all right, I'm gonna see how long I can go without the epidural. I knew I wanted to get the epidural because I'm horrible with pain. Like my tolerance is really low.
Your belly button?
Dude, I was, yes, that's another story. Oh my. I'm bad with pain, so I was like, okay, like, but let me try to do this. Maybe I can do it natural. Let's see. So they take me into the room, and well, they told me I was 2 centimeters, so they take me into my room where I'm gonna be, and then I was like, oh no, like this pain is coming strong. The contractions were bad. Like I felt like, I told everybody, I'm really dramatic too. I was like, it's like they're socking me and pulling my ribs out and covering my mouth at the same time. I couldn't breathe. It was horrible. That's how I described it to everybody. Like that, yeah. Like feeling like that, and then I was like, oh no, like I need the epidural, and they're like, oh, the nurse is on lunch, and I was like, no, like I need it now. Yeah. Lunch? And someone came to ask me questions. I was like, I'm not answering nothing until you guys give me the epidural. And they're like, oh, but we need to, and I was like, don't talk to me. I was yelling like, don't talk to me. My mom tried to tell me something. I was like, I'm not talking to nobody, and I laid on my side. I was like, I'm not gonna talk to nobody until they give me the epidural. Oh my Dude, God. I was so stubborn. Like, no, I'm not going through this shit. You guys want to talk to me while I'm dying over here? Dude, no, I was not having it. So they came and gave me the epidural, and the epidural was more scarier than labor to me because I had heard and read so many things about it. If you move, you're gonna be paralyzed. This, and this. So I remember just shaking and crying like a baby and holding the pillow, and I was so scared. And the nurse was talking me through it. Like it felt like if I was going to labor because I was so scared, and I was just crying so much, and I was so scared, but they put it in me, and after that I was good. Like I was You're like, fine. Let's do this. No, I was good after that. And then I remember, yeah, it was funny, my whole labor. And then I was in labor I think for like 20 hours, and then
20 hours.
Yeah, it was a full day. And then I remember
my 20 hours they
there were like 9, it was, I think what was it, like about to be, it was like 10 p.m. and they're like, all right, you're 9.5 centimeters, let's do this. And they brought out like silver trays, and mind you, like I said, I'm bad with pain, and all like needles and everything. Yeah, it looked like a horror movie. They brought out trays and knives and scissors. Like a surgery. Dude, I was like, uh-oh, what is all that over there? Like they put on the bright lights, and I was like, what's about to happen? And everyone in my room was like
in a hospital.
Dude, everybody was like, you're having a baby, like relax. And I was just like, no, like I don't want to. And then my mom was like, what do you mean you don't want to? I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, no. Like I was crying out like a baby. I'm like, I don't want to do this. No. They're like, just lift your legs here. And I was shaking. I was so scared. Like
it's traumatizing.
Yeah, I was like, especially all those knives. It looked like Saw. Like they had the different shapes of the knives and the scissors. I was like, what is that? Dude, they busted it out. They busted it out, and then they put the big lights. So it looked like a horror movie to me, and I was scared as hell. I was like, what's going on? Why are all those knives?
She's like, girl, work with me. I didn't feel no pain.
I did during labor. So when they did, they're like, you're gonna push. So I was like, okay, like let's do this. So they tell me to push, and I'm pushing, and they're like, push. And I'm like, I am pushing. Like I was pissed because the doctor's like, push, and I'm pushing as hard as I can. And then he puts his hands in me, and I remember feeling that, and I smacked him. I was like, get your hands! He put his hands, and I was like, no, like his arm. No, it was something. I just remember like get your hands out of me because they were in me. I felt it. It doesn't feel painful. You could just I don't know how to describe it. It feels
like,
weird.
Yeah.
Like it didn't hurt. You just feel stuff in you, like in your body. I felt his hands in there, and he was trying to pull the baby out, and I was like mad because his hands were because he was helping. He was doing his job, but I was pissed, and I was like, get out. So anyways, yeah, they pushed, and then my baby came out, and I remember she was so beautiful. She was really white with like pink, big red lips. Like, yes, like big pink red lips, and I just thought she was so perfect. I was like, and I remember like I didn't feel like a mom. I didn't feel none of those feelings. I'm pregnant, I'm having a baby. And then I remember they all just came. Like, she was staring at me. The doctors, everybody's like, why is she not crying? Like, what's going on? She was so quiet, and she was just staring at me. And like, we have so many pictures. She was just staring at me, and like, she was so quiet. She was like so peaceful, and it was like, it was so perfect. Like, I was like, oh my God, you know? And then they were doing all the other stuff, and then I guess they had to like clean up everything, and none of that even mattered. Like, I was just like, oh, like, you know, because I was just like so focused on her, and I was like, at that moment I was like, oh, this is real. Like, this is real. I have a baby.
And what about feelings? Did you get baby blues? Or
I did.
Postpartum depression?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember feeling really depressed, adjusting to like the new mom life. Like, I was pregnant when I was 21, so all my ideas of like going out and stuff like that, like,
and you loved going out.
Yeah, I did. I loved going out and dancing, like just having a good time. So that was a huge adjustment for me too, just having to like stay home and then like living in a new home, and then adjusting to my body was like one of the hardest things, because I got stretch marks on my stomach. I got them in my boobs and like my sides. So I remember like feeling like, oh my God, like this is not me. And like I went up a size or two in my jeans, and like nothing fitted me. Like I had to go shopping for new clothes. And I remember just feeling like ugly. Like I was just like, oh my God, like, you know, what's wrong with my body? Why does it look like this? And everybody was like, oh, you know, just give it some time. The stomach's gonna go down. And then it didn't, like, you know, it was still there. So I remember feeling like really just like super self-conscious. And I always thought growing up I was really like had really high self-esteem, and I was like kind of like conceited, I would say. Like growing up I always felt good about myself, getting ready and stuff, and that just kind of all went away. Like I was just not feeling myself. I didn't want to get ready. I was just feeling really bad about myself, and I think it was just adjusting to my body. Like, you know, I had to get the mindset that my body would never go back to way it was, because I carried a baby for 9 months, and then I had a baby. So that was the hardest part for me, was adjusting to my new body.
Yeah. For me, I went into labor and Sarah was there experiencing the whole thing with me. Friday, August 24th, I went to like my last doctor's appointment, and then she like did something with her hand to where it'll like help break my water. And she told me like, this weekend you might have your baby, if not we'll induce you the following week coming up. And so then I told Sarah like, I want this baby out, let's go walk around. So we went to the mall. I was like, okay, I need to go to the restroom. And then I was like, oh my God, like I was like, Sarah, like I feel like it's coming out now. Like
she like was like stuck walking, kind of like
trying
to hold her legs together. And she's like, dude, I can't walk. And I looked and I was like, fuck, you fucking feed.
Yeah,
like, I was cracking up.
Yeah.
We were in the middle of Nordstrom's, like with our shopping bags and stuff. We were buying that kind of shit.
And I had gray leggings, so it's like, it's like my whole butt was stained. And so then we go to the hospital, and they're checking everything. They're like, yeah, well, you're 2 centimeters dilated. I felt like pain, but not crazy, like to the point where I needed the epidural.
But you have like a good tolerance.
I have a really good pain tolerance, and I continuously said I'm not gonna get the epidural. Like I put it in my head that I'm not gonna get it. And yeah, I'm pretty pain tolerant, and so then I was only like 2 centimeters, and I was like, all right, like let's get this baby going. Like I was doing squats, walking in circles, doing everything I could to like speed up the process. They offered to.
You were pushing them back up. Cause
I probably was
Those
because
videos
it was taking forever. I know, and so then they offered me to. They offered to put me like Pitocin, to induce me. But I was like, if I don't need it, I don't want it. And so she's like, okay, you know, it was Friday night.
Okay, I think we were all like, just fucking take it.
Yeah, I know.
It was like 4 in the morning. And she still had not progressed at all.
At all, yeah.
We're like, girl,
just take
you're
it.
not the only one in here.
I know. And so Pitocin goes in. Still didn't, and then
like,
they keep putting it up. Yep, I was like monitoring his heartbeats because when they put the Pitocin, it can mess with their heartbeat.
You're even telling your tia to put it up because she's a nurse. And we're like, put it up. Don't you know how, like...
I know, it was so crazy. I had like everybody in the delivery room. Sarah was in there, my mom was in there, my grandma was in there, Derek was in there, his mom was in there, my aunt was in there,
family reunion.
My grandma was in there, like everybody was in there. And then it wasn't until like Saturday night where I was like, all right, like shit's getting serious, like, and I like was like talking to Malachi like the whole time. I was like praying, I was breathing, like all right, like we're gonna fucking do this, like. And then I was just telling Malachi like, come on baby, like me and you gotta do teamwork, like this is not just me, like you gotta be helping me too, like
you gotta meet me halfway.
Yeah, you gotta meet me halfway. And then
Crystal got into like some zone, dude. Everybody was bickering in the room.
Yeah.
And Crystal was like so out of it because she got in like a all fours position.
Yeah.
And like the nurse had told her that she could be like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Derek's mom and your grandma kept saying like, no, flip her over, it's not good for the baby. And me and Derek were like, if she's comfortable like that,
that was the most comfortable.
Yeah. And we're like, just let her, whatever.
Yeah.
We were starting to
I don't even know what was in the back of my head.
Yeah, because we're like,
wait, what do you mean on all
fours?
Like on my arms and my knees, like that.
On the bed?
Yeah, on the bed. That's one way you can have a baby too, but they don't ever really deliver like that. They want you to be, you know, how they normally put you. But that was the most comfortable for me, the one where I like felt like I can tolerate the pain the best. And
like,
then,
I'm used to this position.
Maybe. But
how he came and how he went.
Oh my god, you guys were sex? I don't have sex.
Okay. We got living proof, girl. I know.
I know.
I feel like
So then by Saturday night, and I remember it was like 10 p.m. and I was like, damn, all right, these are starting to feel like cramps, like my cramps may be a little worse. And I was like, I want them to check how much I've opened. And then they check and they're like, oh, you're 5'6". And I was like, all right, I got this. And she's like, okay. She's like, you know, this is nothing compared to how it's gonna be when, you know, you're 9 or 10 or whatever. And I was like, I got this, it's fine. And then they kept asking me like, how do you feel? And I was like, a 1. And it was like the smiley face. And then they're like,
at first she was like, oh, like a 4 or whatever. Yeah. And her aunt was like, girl, that's what a face of a 4 looks like. And it was like, and she was all like a 4. We're like, that's not a fucking 4, bitch. You're like at a 1 or 2.
Yeah, there you go.
And then after, when you started feeling like it, she's like, okay, these are a 4.
And I was like, nah, really, not really 4. Yeah, and then they were like, okay, you are opening up. Yeah, you're a 6. And I was like, yes. And then afterwards, like, I would hear girls come in and they were like screaming. And in my head, I was like, I ain't gonna scream.
I remember hearing that in the hospital.
Yeah, dude,
screaming.
It's crazy.
I know you kept hearing them like,
fuck. Yeah, and then they would.
We're all like hyped up. We're like, what? I'm not girl. They gonna do that.
I ain't gonna scream. Yeah, it's like a fucking pain that like, it literally feels, the way I can describe it, and that's the way that my aunt described it to me also, like, it feels like a bowling ball wants to come out of you, like, and literally that is like how I felt, like a bowling ball, just because you feel pressure, you feel like something separating you, and like, and I was just like, holy shit, dude, like and your body wants to push, like, so your body, like, I was
naturally
getting, yeah, and I was like starting to get like shivers and like chills, just like shocks through my body, like, because your body's going into like shock because it's going, going through pain that you've never felt before. Then I was like, okay, like I'm ready. She's like, no, honey, if you were ready, you wouldn't even be able to talk. And I was like, I'm fucking ready. Like, and then she like checked and she's like, oh my God, you are ready. And then she's like, bring the nurses in, like bring everybody in. You are about to. My doctor wasn't even there yet.
Oh, I got
Wait, so you were always tense, almost 10 centimeters?
Yeah, I was ready.
And you weren't screaming though?
I was screaming. I was screaming. Okay, but the thing is, like with me, like I was screaming when the pain happened, but then
I didn't feel like a scream. It was like a the worst grunting noise.
Yeah, because it just
like
was
you
like
could feel like that shit coming from like it didn't even sound like she was like screaming of pain. It sounded like her body was just making that noise.
Yeah, and literally
like,
that's
how
what it
intense
felt
it
like.
was.
That's literally what it felt. I felt like I wasn't even doing it. It was just my body like doing that. And so then whenever the contraction would go away, I literally needed silence to just like focus
quiet
and breathe. Like I was like,
no one was touching her, no one was talking.
I didn't want nobody to touch me.
Nobody was like doing anything. It was like, don't move. Like you might
don't
ruin
breathe.
all the balance in here. You know what I mean? Like it felt tense. Like it was like
I needed like silence. Like let me just focus right now.
And you could
I'm
feel
trying to
like
get
she was like, it was like two different experiences because it's like she's like over there. She doesn't even know who's in the room. Like what the fuck is happening? We're all kind of like mad at each other because everybody's trying to tell her what to do. And like we're like, stop, let her be. And they're like, stop. Like
Derek's mom puts on gloves on.
Yeah, dude. I was like, dude, when she put the gloves in her pocket, I was like, if she gets up and tries to stick her hand in her, I'm gonna knock her down. I'm sorry, Derek, but your mom is not gonna do that.
Yeah, she was ready to deliver the baby.
Like we're, because you have the baby at 10, right? So when you were like at 9.5. Because your mom didn't want to be in the room.
My mom didn't want to be in there,
because she went to go sit outside.
She was like, I can't watch it.
It was hard to watch. It was hard watching her.
It was hard to hear.
It was hard watching her being like, it was like literally we were all in the room, but we were like this. Like we weren't looking at her. Like we didn't, like it was hard. But you didn't want to leave, you know? But her mom just couldn't. She was like, she literally just said like, I can't. And she got up and left.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'll go get her when like, you know, it's about it. And then 9.5. I was like, Patty, come on, the baby's coming. And she's like, no, like,
I really she was can't. Thinking about it.
And I was like, Patty, like, don't.
Yeah,
you're gonna regret it. Yeah, you're gonna regret it.
Yeah.
So she ended up going in.
Yeah, she came in, right when it was about to happen. And then they pulled a different doctor in because my doctor didn't get there on time. And she was super sweet. She did everything I asked for them to do. That Thursday before I went to my doctor's appointment, that Friday was like the last best sleep I ever had. Since then I probably haven't had like a full night's sleep till this day. But because I didn't sleep through the Friday night, it was Saturday night, 2 in the morning, I was about to have a baby. Then when the labor pains came, like when you're about to like go into active labor means like the baby's officially coming out. Like you gotta fucking push. Like you can't care if you're about to fucking shart or some shit. Like
and that's normal.
It's normal.
That's why they have you chew on ice cubes, not food, because the food may
come out. And like that didn't happen to me, but like you gotta poop. You gotta push like
you're pooping.
Like you're pooping. Like you want everything, all your guts to come out of you. Those pushes were like, I felt like I was about to pass out. I was like, holy shit. And they were like, the head's out. Like, do you want to see the head? I was like, no, like I just need this baby out right now. And then boom, the baby's out. I hear him crying. I like ask for him to like come to me. I see the like umbilical cord like around him. Nothing dangerous. They didn't say anything about it. But right when I saw that, because that was my biggest fear, like for the umbilical cord to be trapped around and like choking him. So I was like, right when he came out, I checked for that. I saw it and I like pulled it over him myself. And I was like come here, Papa. Like, and I like open my fucking scrub up or whatever it is that
little dress they put on you.
Yeah, I know, the little fancy dress. And I like put him on my boob and I'm like, oh, like cuddling with him. Yeah. And then but then you have to birth your placenta. So like mine was taking forever to come out, and they were like, nurses are doing all kinds of shit to you, like meanwhile you're trying to have this bonding time with your baby. So I asked Derek to do the skin to skin with him. Like I was with him for like 30 minutes, and then I asked Derek to take over because I felt like I wasn't gonna have like another baby when the placenta, when like the whole placenta situation was coming out. So so then the placenta happened, everything came out good, yada yada, and then we get transferred to like the, what is it called? Like the other room? Delivery?
I don't remember.
I don't remember, but then you get
Like
transferred out to another room, and the nurse was like super sweet, and she was just like, dude, like she was just like in shock, like I can't believe like you didn't get the epidural, like you're my second, what are we, patient that has ever not got the epidural. And I was like, girl, I told you. When I tell you I'm gonna do something,
Dude,
I'm
that's
gonna do it.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was like